How to get the best quality solar leads in 2023. Welcome back to another video on the channel. My name is Ivan, and on this one, we're not only talking about how to generate leads for solar, we're talking about how to get the best possible quality. And out of my gazillion years of experience, because in marketing, 3 or 4 years is like dinosaur years. That's quite a bit. But not only that, we've also spent a humongous amount of money on solar ads. And so we've tested so many different concepts. And I'll bring the best to you. Today, I'm going to show you why getting the best leads for your campaign, for your company, or your sales business has everything to do with psychology. With that being said, let's dive right in. And the first thing I would say is, I know you've heard me say it before, but lead quality has nothing to do with how long your quiz or your form is, like the questionnaire that you ask people before they become quote unquote a lead. It has nothing to do with that and everything to do with what they see initially, because that determines their intent. And to me, the best quality of a lead is somebody with a good intent to actually be interested in buying solar. That is it. The bottom line is, do they have an interest or even a remote interest in solar? Are they interested or are they not? That's it. That's the bottom line. Now, what I would tell you is, out of doing all the testing in the world, I'm here to tell you that yes, we used to do incentivized campaigns, and incentivized campaigns, of course, work, but they require a different sort of setup. You got to have a bigger team, so there's more touches with the lead, there's more text messages, there's more email, there's more communication going out. Now, if you want to get the best quality, you do not offer any incentives at all for giving you their information. Their interest in solar alone should be enough. And if they want to find out more, you just got to fill out the form. So the way we do it is we get rid of all incentives. So we don't do incentives at all. Now what we do instead is we call it angles. And I'll explain what angles are. And I'll tell you why the quality of the lead that you're looking for online has nothing to do with what incentives you're doing and everything to do with psychology. And that's where these angles actually come in, because it's all about psychology. It's about meeting the homeowner where they're at. Nothing more, nothing less. I'll give you a simple analogy so you can get it, or a quick story, I should say. And I've said it before in a video, but it was like a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. And by the end of the story, you'll understand exactly what I mean. So there was a father and a son, and the son really wanted a dog, and so the dad got him a dog. But one day the dad had to leave the boy with his grandma so he can go do some errands. But what happened was, while the boy was at his grandma's, what he realized is that the dog itself was full of ticks. And so he panicked. The boy panicked and went to his grandma and said, "Grandma, dog is full of ticks. What do I do?" And the grandma said, "Give him some onion so the dog will sweat and the ticks will naturally fall off." And so that's what the boy did. He went to the dog and tried to feed him onion. The dog wasn't having it. He was pulling his head away and was clearly not interested in eating an onion. And so frustrated, the boy went back to his grandma and said, "Grandma, that strategy didn't work. The dog didn't want to eat the onion." And the grandma said, "Oh, honey, did you try to give him onion on its own?" "No. What you do is you wrap the onion in ham and then you give it to him." And so the moral of the story is, you can't just give people what you want to give them. Sometimes you got to wrap it up in ham so they take it in and it actually helps them. And it's the same thing with this. With online advertising, is exactly the same way. Now with solar, I would tell you is a lot of psychology involved, because first of all, there's a very bad stigma that goes around, especially in the United States, that salespeople are terrible, solar's a scam. Everybody knows someone who got scammed through the process of trying to get solar. And that's why most people are kind of negative about solar. The industry in and of itself has a negative connotation, or a bad stigma, if you will. And so most people aren't going to be interested in solar right off the bat. So you try to go online with a sign like this saying, "Hey, I'm offering solar. Can you please buy some solar?" Telling people to do something like that is ludicrous. It will never work. What's going to happen on the other side, you'll start to see a very expensive cost per lead that will make it impossible for you to stay on the platform and make money with the leads that you generate. And so the way you actually cope with this situation is you take into account that that's what most people are thinking, especially in states where solar is very, very popular. And so with your ad, with your wording, video, text, or whatever, you're trying to convey to the homeowner that, hey, I'm here for you. I care about you. I want to help you. I only want the best for you. And I'm looking out for your best interest. If your message is able to do that, then your campaign's gonna rock. If you're not able to do that, then your campaign will suck and your CPL or cost per lead will be super high. And again, at that point, most people give up on trying to generate leads online. And so what we've noticed work really well is saying, hey, do not try to buy overpriced solar panels, or solar panels don't work. Do this instead, okay? Like trying to meet them where they're at. And a lot of people are like, how would this work? First of all, we're talking about solar, okay? So we're targeting people that have either searched about solar or they're remotely interested maybe about solar, but they're very unsure as to how to proceed. They're worried about someone taking advantage of them. And so with this type of ad, you meet them where they're at and they're much more willing to trust you at that point. And the rest is history because it's all about building that relationship with the homeowner. I would honestly argue that many of you that have done door knocking in the past, maybe some people haven't, but doesn't matter what you sell, okay? I will focus on solar, and I have never sold solar through door knocking, ever in my life. But I know that some of you that are watching this will probably agree with this. The company that you work for probably didn't teach you to go out to people's doors and say, hey, we're selling solar, you want some? What they do is they say, hey, I'm in the neighborhood, did you hear about this? You know, meters are getting changed or this, that, and the other. I don't know what you guys are saying. I've heard some pitches, whatever, but all I'm saying is that you probably understand that you will never pitch solar. In fact, most of the time in the initial part of the conversation, solar is not even mentioned. You're just getting your foot in the door and you're making the homeowner get their guard down so you can actually have a conversation with them. And it's the same exact things that apply online, guys. There's no difference. It is the same exact things. That's how you attract people of quality. That's how you attract high intent solar leads. And that's how you get people that are actually interested in solar. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, give it a massive thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and I'll look forward to seeing you again in the next one.